What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my favorite things that were added in the full release update. So, if I'm being honest with y'all, dude, like, this update took so long, and like, genuinely, no cope, it was so worth it. A year and 3 months, like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of moved on for a little bit. That's why I didn't upload for so long. That's why I didn't PvP for so long. That's why I wasn't really doing shit for so long. But now that the update's out, I think it was really worth it, and I think there was a lot of great changes. And my number one favorite change, addition rather, my number one favorite feature to do at the moment is probably just randomly server hopping and fighting enemy towers. I I find it mostly enjoyable because they're like fairly quick raids, and the bosses are interesting and they have cool drops. And I just really enjoy doing them. I will join all my friends that are in Nimbus, so I can quickly go from Samaria to the eastern reaches, and then quickly do enemy towers. And I just think they're really fun and like, super interesting. And that's probably my number one favorite addition at the moment. And my second favorite addition probably has to be talent quests. Talent quests are very useful in my opinion because they just have so much longevity. This is going to be something that gives you a perk and several bonuses throughout the entirety of the game. However, Arcane Odyssey remains on Roblox, however long Roblox remains to exist. Talent quests are going to be there, and I think they were a really great change because now after the story you have some fucking purpose, and you can get more buffs. And out of all of them, I think Sentinel is my favorite PvP wise because you can use the diamond to regain energy, which is super tedious to get in this update now that PvP has changed and energy has changed. So Sentinel is probably my favorite, and I am aware that not all of them are finished. Darkness is not finished because Dark Sea Dragons are not implemented, so I'm aware of that. But regardless, I still really like talents, and I think they're very useful. It's probably my second favorite thing implemented in this update. And the third thing, it's probably got to be all the vanity. If I'm being honest, all of the new vanity and boss drops and just content as in gear and moves, has just been such a welcomed change. I am so glad all of these things are finally implemented. It's been so long. We went a year and 3 months without an update. Like, we were starving, let's be for real. And that's probably my third favorite thing. And this is kind of getting to the things I don't really like very much. I will specify them. Fleets, I understand that they're very useful, and you can get a lot of gear when you are motivated and devote time. But the thing is, you have to devote your full attention and devote a lot of time to player fleets until you get it up to a point where your fleet can become independent. From what I've heard, the meta after you get to level 5 is that you just have 2 on recovery, so they can just keep recovering and keep your strength. Have 1 plundering and then 1 doing conquest for Dark Seal Chest. So I hear that's a really good one, but trading as well is also really good. It gets you a lot of drachma, which is what galleons are called now. It's kind of retarded, but you get a lot of drachma, and then you get tons and tons of reagents and catalysts. All right, so that's I definitely see why player fleets was so hyped for so long, but I just don't really like the execution of it because of how time consuming it is, and I just don't find it very fun to sink the ships, especially because on release there was a bug where after 3 hours everything would just stop spawning after a while. That was really tedious and annoying, and it was not listed anywhere because nobody knew about it. Because how are you supposed to find out about that when you transfer all your stats from a different game file to the main version of a game? So it's kind of a Roblox problem, but it doesn't take away from why I don't like it in the first place. So player fleets is probably going to be number 4. Even though I'm not crazy about it, I still think it's an amazing change, or addition rather. And I think my 5th favorite thing added in this update is probably skill mastery. My favorite one definitely has to be it definitely has to be Jewel Mastery. That was the one I leveled up and mastered first. And then probably treasure charting. That one's amazing because you can get lost knowledge scrolls, which are amazing If you're PvE, you're probably going to want to have Dragon or Beast Conquering. But if you're PvP, the only Lost Knowledge Scroll you should ever be using on any of your items has to be Darkness Purging. One of my friends, before Darkness Purging and all the other Lost Scrolls kind of hit the mainstream, he had maybe 4 of them. And his build does like 500 damage. I'll put up some gameplay on screen of him absolutely molesting me. But yeah, the skill mastery, especially with the buffs you get, Jewel in particular, you get a really cool amulet that you can, one, enchant, and you can socket any gem to. I haven't really experimented with it, but it seems very interesting, and I kind of want to see what I can do with it. And then at, 10, when you are an artisan jewel crafter, you can fuse gems together. And gem fusion is very important in this update because otherwise you're going to be left behind. If you don't have fused gems and you don't have optimal stats and you want to PvP or even PvE, it's necessary in my opinion. And it is pretty grueling to do, that's why it's all the way at the bottom, because it is a very tedious grind. I was able to do it fairly quickly, and by quickly it took me a day, which is probably not quick, but I'm also very rich on this game. So yeah, me being super rich, it still took me a day to do. So that's also kind of on me because I would make tons of gems. I had like 2 million jewel crafting experience before the update because I would just love to craft gems and sell them for money. So it's kind of on me. If you have a lot of stockpiled, you can probably get to master it fairly quickly, but just keep that in mind that it is very tedious. So that's probably my top 5 things that I like the most in this update. Tell me what y'all like. This is just a very short video saying what I like so far. I do have more videos coming. Please keep that in mind. I have very important videos coming that I'm investing a lot of time into, so that's why I just kind of want to put this video out there in the meantime. So yeah, peace out, guys.